my creative laboratory, I just came from IKEA with my kids, 5 hours. I have court supervised visitation because of these videos, so I'm not even putting my name in it, so I just call it the creative laboratory. During my IKEA visit, it was a lot of fun. The kids were very happy and fun, and I really, look at other parents and I look at other moms and dads, and I feel like I'm really missing out in being a parent. I mean, I never liked kids. I only like my kids. When I was young, if someone had a kid, I'd run away. I'd like, I don't know you, I never met you, and if I did, I lost your number. If I had a friend who had a kid, I would find so annoying that the kid would constantly be making noise, and while I was trying to have a conversation with her, that I'd rather avoid it. It was like, oh, Gucci, Gucci, you're so cute. Dogs are cuter. Cats are cuter. Parrots, wow, awesome. Not kids. They, in my opinion, in my 20s, they were always full of some gooey food in their hands. Their mouths were full of something or other. They made a lot of noise. And they thought themselves adorable. I actually visited friends where I didn't touch their kid one time. It was like, hi. Yeah, okay. Let me get out of here now. When I read one time when I was pregnant, I read in a book that at some stage it was like, now your child's feet are about to be developed, and these are the feet that you will kiss millions of times. And I remember being pregnant and thinking, ew, why would I kiss my kid's feet? Like, whatever. I had zero mother intuition, zero. I remember I was a babysitter at 18, and the mother told me, well, feed this to baby Eric, very adorable little baby, and I would feed it, and it was too much, so the baby would puke. So I'd be like, feeding more, and then the baby would puke, and then I'd just feed more, and then the baby would puke. And I kept telling her, are you sure I'm supposed to like feed all this food to the baby? She's like, yeah, he should eat it, but he's puking all the time. Oh, like, well, just maybe give him smaller spoons. I'm like, okay. This went on for like weeks until I couldn't take it anymore. It didn't make sense to me then to use my head and tell myself, don't feed the little baby anymore. He can't take any more lentils. Puree of lentils. It was like every single day, some different kind of lentils, but they were always lentils with a little bit of chicken. To this day, I'm still regretting it, that I couldn't just ignore the mother, and if the baby couldn't take any more, which he wasn't a baby, he was 1 year old or maybe 1.5, to just not feed anymore. And the times that I just keep thinking about this and thinking about this, why did I use my head? Why did I leave poor Eric vomiting? And just tell the mother, I can't feed all this food to this baby. It's just too much food. But if she told me, you gotta feed the whole pot, I'm feeding the whole pot. And I couldn't take the vomiting anymore. He was adorable though, I adored him. He was just the best baby in the world. But I couldn't take the vomiting. But I thought to myself, one day I'll fall in love and I'll actually like babies. I'll actually like children. They're just such cute little people. I used to see them like at 4 or 5 years old, all going to daycare. And just think, oh my God, they look so cute. I wish I could understand and get along with these little people. But when I had children, when my children were born, everything changed. From the moment I got pregnant, everything changed. My mother always used to tell me, your problem is you can't love. You can't love. You judge people by their looks. You judge people by how much money they have, how clean is their house. You are unable to love someone for what they are. And I think to a certain extent, she's right. But when my kids came into this world, I realized what love was. I never loved so intensely. I can't explain it. I can't actually put it into words. Perhaps I can write about it. And even when I write it in my journals, I don't make it justice. What it feels like to love one of your own kids. Could I adopt? Perhaps not. Perhaps I would not be the right person to adopt. But my kids, I love. And I don't love in a cute way. I'm tough with them. I make them do a lot of homework. I tell them a lot. You need to study. You need to be independent. Don't be like your mom, who did not accomplish anything professionally or financially. Just really work hard. I don't tell them with these words, but I express it in ways that I hope they will understand. And I think they do, because they're always very motivated to learn, to read, to do the best they can. I always inspire them to eat well so they don't get sick, so they understand the difference between unhealthy behavior with healthy behavior. But then this whole divorce thing started. And a lot of really bad things was said about me in court. And I wish I had never gone through that. It was like the picture perfect that I had of myself had been destroyed by what I believe were lies, were characterizations that were so negative in order to have the children live with one party rather than the other. And there were many moments where in my OCD character, I felt my children had ruined my resume. I felt definitely my ex was not in any way worthy of loving, which I actually didn't, but I liked him. I found him attractive, but he wasn't worthy of having sex with. I feel disgusted of myself. I had sex with that person that said so many evil things in legal papers about me. It's something that I feel, wow, I don't ever want to be in a relationship. I'm not gonna allow someone to ejaculate inside of me who's later gonna go to court and say horrible things about me, which my kids are gonna find out one day. I'm not gonna do that. And it seems to me that that's where everybody ends up. So, but my kids, whatever happens, I hope they know that I love them, that for them, I have determined that I don't care how badly my resume gets, but I still hope they find it in themselves to respect me and to love me. But the last 4 years have been insane. In 2015, my daughter came home one day and she said to me, well, they go off to visit this person. I'm not going to say his name, but they go there pretty often. They spend the whole night until the next day, the afternoon, which is awesome, you know, like now they live with dad and they go to this person's house. They spend over 24 hours sometimes there. And here I am dying to see my kids, to spend a minute with them, an hour with them, and they're being dropped off at someone else's house. Wow. And my daughter tells me, well, you know, Mommy, there's sometimes these people dressed in black there. They're like all dressed in black, and they say that they're like police or something, but they're dressed in black. And they hang out like in the beginning of the night and after dinner, and they hang out in the kitchen and they talk to this gentleman. They didn't say gentleman, they said his name. And they talk to Daddy too, and then they leave. They say they go to work. They gotta go work. I'm like, oh, that's so cute. But after, another time she comes to me and she said, you know, those people dressed in black? I'm like, yeah. Well, no. It's actually not true, Mommy. I was just making it up. Oh, really? Yeah. I was just making it up. What does this gentleman do? Oh no, he's going to work in a hospital. He's actually going to be a nurse. Really? Tell me if you see these words. And I wrote in a piece of paper, SWAT. FBI SWAT. And I showed it to her. And she says, yes, they have that in their jackets. They have that in their jackets. Well, I actually knew that because he told me He might have just changed professions now and he's going to be a nurse in a hospital. Oops, I'm sorry if I let go of some kind of professional secret. So I'm like, well, that's good, because you know what? He's a good person. He's safe. He's going to keep you safe. And he's got good friends, right? And they get to meet you. Blah, 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 blah. And I've been supportive of their visit to this gentleman's house. They have daughters, and they love to be with their daughters. But then now, we're going to go back to being logical. My court case was very strange. It was like making a big issue of nothing. And I spent $600,000. Not from my money. I owe that money. I owe that money. Now, I started putting one and one together. Let me see. If I had a friend in FBI, wouldn't my custody go better with me? Yeah? Wouldn't it be better? Wouldn't it go my way? So today I asked the supervisor, so what if, does this person have an FBI friend that can help me too? Because I'm sure that if I go to court, this court here that is so corrupt, and if I tell him I have this FBI friend, maybe he could help me too. And then they could make a big issue of nothing of my partner, which I would hate. I would not allow it. I would not allow anyone to treat him how he's allowed me to be treated. This is because I'm Catholic and I'm European, and we have very different standards. Moral standards, ethical standards. Now, my case was going to go to trial, but now suddenly there's no trial. And I asked the child attorney, well, there's supposed to be a trial for custody. No. No custody, no. Custody will remain the same. It's visitation. This is a hearing just for visitation. Oh, okay. Can I have an FBI friend too? Now, this goes back to the video number 1, in which I make statement of my story. And how does it link now? In the video of the video number 3, My Scientology Story 3, I explain how it started over again when the separation was already taking place, and I began to be harassed by what I believe is fair game, which I am not going to dispute or not dispute because I have no freaking idea. It's just that right now I have proof that in my house, an environment that was so seriously dangerous for me could have not been done unless to harm someone very seriously. My chimney, the gentleman that came, I was very sick and I was very weak. I went for blood tests and they found carbon monoxide poisoning. The man that came here, he said, your chimney, someone put a sleeve in it. And what happened is the rain rocked the chimney, and then the smoke, it did a negative force on the chimney, and the smoke went down back into your house. This wasn't done more than about 2 years ago. How long have you been living here? 6 years? Going on 6 years in June? Now this is the story he tells me, very convinced. This is very suspicious. The next day his story is completely different. Well, you know, it could have always been like 15 or 20 years that they put the sleeve on. You know? Another thing he tells me, the pipe that goes from the boiler to the chimney. He says, oh, this pipe has been opened hundreds of times. And when I got home, I not only got carbon monoxide poisoning, little by little, but I was sick. There was smell of hospital sometimes. Sometimes there was a smell of smoke, cigarette smoke, like someone had been smoking here. Then there was a smell of medication. And then there was this weird, I couldn't put my hand in it, where I was like, oh my God, I think I'm freaking unconscious here. I think I'm gonna pass out. It's like I'm not feeling. I couldn't feel well in my own house. A gentleman comes in, an electrician. I said to him, I showed him the frequency in the house, insane frequency. The moment I begin to show the electricians the frequency that I'm experiencing in the house, it stops immediately. Ooh, it stops. I show the plugs. I show my electrical box. The electrical box, a disaster. It wasn't a disaster when I moved in here. Pretty much, there's a bunch of things missing in the electrical box. Was surcharging the whole electrical system in the house. The plugs, wireless. I have pictures of the plugs when I moved in. And I have pictures now. They are wireless. Some of the wires are pulled. The plastic is not there anymore. So there was insane amount of frequency here. Now, my reader reads electrical frequency, but it also reads magnetic frequency. And the magnetic frequency, I have no idea where that came from. I was burning, my body was hot, my face was like it had been lasered. I have tumors in my eyes now because the frequency affected my eyes. My blood test came with near cancer, near vascular disease, near diabetes. There's some days I couldn't feel the tips of my hands and the tips of my feet. And I endure all this for my kids because I don't want to be here. I have been so unhappy in America. I am here for my kids. And I'm wondering why all this is happening to me. Now, I already assumed, and I already have posted it online, that I'm assuming Scientology does work with the government. This is why they pursue people so violently. Nobody ever goes to prison in that religion. Obviously, they're working with the freaking government. One and one equals two. It's that easy. That is what I am assuming. Now, this gets even more interesting. In one of the videos, I explain a story where I have almost like an unconscious experience into something being injected into my head. And this, I believe, happened in between 2002 and 2005. Because in the year of, I believe it was 2003, I don't know if it was 2002 or 2003, there was a lapse of 2 days that I went for a nap and I woke up 2 days later. When I was reviving a lot of things through Scientology, I revived that. And as you all know, well, at least the people that know Scientology, auditing goes into the unconsciousness. It looks at things that are in the unconsciousness. Now, I dismissed it because I thought, well, that might have happened in another life, or who knows? I mean, the experience was an injection into my head on this place here. And the liquid spreading out. I left it. Probably, I have no idea. That must have been like whenever, who cares? In the last 4 months, where I actually started these videos, when every time I start these videos, I get tons of, shut the fuck up! Zip it, zip it, zip it! No, I don't feel like zipping it. I want my kids back. I want my kids back. I want the corruption out the fucking window, and I want the truth. This is what's began happening 4 months ago. My neck. My neck begins to feel like it's creating a muscle from here down. My head, always up. Calcifications in very weird places, every day, increasing, every day increasing. Poodles, like sockets of blood. A horrible sensation of frequency in my whole body when I'm sleeping. Vibration through my bones. And the most interesting part, the frequency detector detects magnetic frequency in my head. So I asked Scientology, they have no idea. I just asked them 10 minutes ago. No idea. And here's me looking for my truth. Having to deliver this sort of creative processing as an excuse to find out what was done to me. And I'll go through anything. But when my kid came to me and told me that her body vibrates at night, like mine does, I got scared. Because I don't want her to go through what I've gone through. I don't want my kid, one or the other, to be messed with. Now, I went to a therapist. This is the most interesting part. And here I am wanting to talk about all this. she doesn't want to see me again. And she tells me in one of the visits, it's because of the unseen. I'm like, this woman's been watching too many of my creative processes online. I'm like, what unseen? What unseen? The unseen. Okay, whatever. As the court mandated, I go to a psychiatrist. He gets rid of me fast. I'm going to put all my logs together, including the ones of fair game, which I believe are fair game, and I apologize if they're not, because I am seeking what this is. What is this? I have the right to know what was done to me. Because just 2 months ago, I saw the gentleman that started it all in 1999. I saw him. He was at Starbucks. And I just looked at him like, he looks exactly the same. He's just very, very thin. So I get everything on paper. I get my neighbor that I suspect. I get the person that takes my children to his house every week. And I get him, this gentleman that started it all in 1998 that I just saw. I want them all investigated. I want to know who these people are. Guess what? No company will pick it up. They get back to me and then never hear from them again. Now, my ex, he doesn't know what I've gone through. He doesn't know how it feels in the body to sense frequency. It's very debilitating. Some days I can't see. Some days I can't feel my hands and my feet. Some days I have exteriorizations. Some days my muscles begin to contract and close my throat and my arms lose mobility. Is this fair game or is this something else? And if I was experimented on, what is it? Because some days I feel I don't. I'd love to tell myself, oh look, I'm turning into an alien. Oh, would be so amazing, wouldn't it? But the truth is, when there is frequency in the house, it has an effect on DNA. So the DNA in a person changes. Now, this is the strangest part. I have 2 bones here that have just come out about a month ago. They're huge. Now the doctor tells me that this is from falling. All these concerns that I'm having with my head is from falling, that I felt, and that from falling, my head did this, right? And it does this. This is what it does in the head, like this. I have to be extremely healthy. I mean, extremely. I have to do salt rooms or go to the ocean at least once, twice a week. Or else my whole body begins to malfunction. I don't know. I can't explain it any other way. Now, I went to Starbucks one day and there was this guy, very interesting looking guy, and his head was completely shaved. Now, he sits next to me, like in front of me. I'm in a couch and he goes into a table and he sits down, right? And it's almost like he did it on purpose. His head is exactly the same as mine. Got this, and it's got this. The bones come out here and they do this. It's freaky. I just want to be a mother to my kids. I want to have a normal life. I don't want these weird frequencies. I don't want this weird neck, head, bones. I don't want to be treated unjustly in court. I, like every single human being, want the truth. I want justice. And I want opportunity to be a mother. Not with a supervisor. As much I respect them because they are wonderful. Just being with someone, watching us, reporting, and then paying them, it violates me. I tried to go to the events of my school, and although the court has not issued any court order keeping me away from the school has made sure that I don't go anywhere near the children, anywhere near my kids, anywhere near the property. I'm treated like a criminal. What's the difference? I didn't choose this story. This story was done to me. I have written to the CIA, I've written to NSA, I've written to the FBI. I've even written to the Europol to ask them if they know of other people that have gone through what I've gone through. And nothing changed until I got equipment to measure the frequency, until I got inspectors to look at my house, until I started doing these videos that, although they're creative processes, they are attempting to ask for help and for the truth. I don't care about Scientology. If they call me or text me, I don't even feel any source of anger towards them. I feel such a despair to just know the truth. What is happening to me? What has been done to me? Do I have that right? Or am I being harassed to leave the country so nobody has to give testimony of what happened to me? The true story can only be read through the logs. And even seeing the logs, it is not understandable unless I parallel it with what has happened to me physically and what has happened to my legal situation. Today, the children tell me that this gentleman, they go to their house, he's having a baby. Congratulations. But I was so angry. And I told my kid, which I shouldn't, but I told her, I hope that gentleman, every single day, he has a chance to touch his child and be with his child and take the child to school, that he remembers that there's people that don't have the same opportunity, that their children have been taken away by the government under bullshit pretenses, little grains of nothing made into big fat issues. And I'm not ever going to shut up. Ever. Until someone looks at my logs, looks at the evidence I have, and the little money that I had, I could not spend it in professional investigators. I had to just do whatever I could. And even that was good because it let me breathe. It gave me 2 weeks now of nice peace where I'm boiling because I have felt manipulated. I have felt controlled, harassed. Does anybody care that Scientology is the United States government or any other government? Who cares? The only place they're actually a little big is here. Nobody in anywhere else cares about them. The other day I went to a deli and the guy was explaining something about the hysteria in the papers. I don't even read them anymore. And I told him, you know, I haven't gone to a Hollywood movie. I haven't watched any single movie. Because, you know, a Hollywood movie is exporting the American way of life. And this is what I see. I see hysteria. I see sexual abuse. I see school shootings. I see court-mandated removal of children. What are they trying to do? Export America? Where? Does anybody want to be America? No. Nobody wants to be fucking America. Nobody needs American morals anywhere. Because this is what happens in America. Now put it in a Hollywood movie like it's all cool and we're all so beautiful and it's all like, you know, superheroes. But look at the reality here. What is Hollywood exporting? Lies. Life here is horrible. What I've experienced here is a horrible life. Every day of my life, I wait to see my kids on Sunday. The whole week does not exist to me until Sunday comes. I almost wish I had never loved children. I almost wish I had stayed with my 20-year-old mentality. Because I think if I had never gone into auditing, if I had never gone into Scientology, my mentality would have remained. I didn't want to have kids. But suddenly I went there and I experienced these openings and my sex life became amazing and suddenly I wanted to have kids too. And I changed. I changed. And with the change came other things that I have no idea if it has anything to do with Scientology. Yes, no, more, less. I have no freaking idea. But when someone tells me they want to put me in the madhouse, just look at my logs. Look at my freaking logs, my freaking investigations. Look at the results of all the tests done in my environment, in my home, Look at the frequencies. Is this a ghost? No, this is not a ghost. This is not a ghost. This is electromagnetic equipment used against me. And my health has deteriorated considerably. Now, there will be no trial because nobody wants this evidence into trial, into a courtroom. But I do. I have no idea who you are, but you have no right to intervene with my life, manipulate it, and test with me. I am pretty sure I've been tested upon. Pretty sure. And I have told my family, if something happens to me, get an autopsy. Please. But I'm sure nothing's going to happen to me because now everything's stopped and I'm getting stronger and stronger every day. But my neck's getting thicker and thicker. The bones over here getting bigger and bigger. I have suspicions. At one point I thought, oh my God, man, I'm turning into an alien. Oh my God, it's totally true. My book is true. No, it's not. The frequency, any electromagnetic frequency interferes with DNA. It makes logical sense that my children are going through it too, because I went through it already in between 2002 and 2005. So my DNA itself had been modified because of the frequency that I was exposed to. I contacted Elrod, the sonar company. I described what I was feeling. I described the frequency in the house. Didn't hear from them. But 3 days later, I saw a guy with this equipment with the 3 things going around, checking the air, pointing to certain places. He stopped the car a lot. A week later, I was having breakfast, as I always have, in the same place, same cafe. And a guy sits in front of me. Big guy. He tells me, listen, just put a few humidifiers. You know, if you put a few humidifiers, nothing will bother you. It won't bother you. And it's true. I actually have humidifiers all the time. And the frequency doesn't bother as much. My body doesn't heat up as much. My head does not feel as hot. My skin does not feel as lasered, like skin burned. My muscles don't contract. And yet a person is abused in this manner. And it's so hard to find someone to believe me. It's so hard. So hard to tell to just explain to someone, I am no longer the person that I was. I am someone else. And it's like a void. I have no idea what to expect of myself. The processing is even more scary. Because once I've been processed, all the words weigh the same for me. All the words have the same meaning. And processing meaning auditing. Although there's some good things that it did do for me, that I don't think if I had not received that, I would have not been able to handle what I've gone through. In the end, my children are the ones that are going to lose out. They're not going to have a mother there for them. I would have really, it's been already 4 years. 4 years where I have visitation every 2 weeks, or then there's supervised visitation. The day I feel like a mother is like a miracle, because I don't feel like a mother anymore. Like, it's a name. They call me mother. My ex bosses me around all the time, sending texts, do this, do that, do it like this, do it like that. At this time we talk, and that time we don't talk. Or today's Skype, tomorrow's a call. He decides everything. I'm like, yes, okay, confirmed, received. I don't like my life. But I do not let go of my need for the truth and my need to be compensated. My whole head is wired. It feels wired all the time. Wired. My hair hurts. It's wired. Gone to the doctor. Oh, that's just maybe a fungus. Could it just be a fungus? No, it's not a fungus. No, it's not brain damage. I did indeed bump into something in 2016 in November in Times Square. I hit a TV very, very hard. And I was like, oh, it was right here. I was looking down and it just hit me. I was walking very fast. It does not explain anything. It made it worse, perhaps, because it was frequency, and the frequency swelled my brain. That's what the frequency does. It swells the organs. But it was not from that. So I don't care if doctors say I have brain damage. I do not believe it. It is very troubling to be exposed to so many things happening in one's life and unable to control them. Feeling that they are not at my fault. I can be responsible for saying a bad word or this or that. You don't take children away from saying something. So this makes no sense to me. And I'm done playing this game. Thanks for listening. Just to check out right after this, the frequency. This is the fridge plug. The electrical is completely off. The whole kitchen is off. There's no electrical working at all. The only light that's coming is from the washer dryer where I now put the fridge. And this is the magnetic field coming out of the fridge plug without it even being connected. Extremely harmful. Extremely harmful. Continues going up. I am sitting in the desk, and this is the electromagnetic current that I can actually sense in my own body. I can sense it. My body is vibrating from it. I am in the center of my kitchen, very far away from the walls, from any plug. A professional asked me to go outside and check the posts, how much electrical current they are releasing, and it was zero. There was a 0.01 magnetic. In the one below is a magnetic. The one above is electrical. It still says safe. It still says safe, but it's a long exposure to it has made me very sensitive to it, with multiple health concerns. I'm recording it because this is not constant. It will stop. It will last sometimes a few hours, sometimes just 15 minutes. It's slightly getting stronger now. Now there's also magnetic, and I can feel in my body the magnetic having turned on. How I feel it, my eyes begin to feel like dry. The tip of my skin feels bubbly. My head starts feeling very light. Now I'm gonna raise it and look at it increase. It goes up, up, up. It's still safe, but imagine living with this electricity all the time. Go up, goes. As I go up, now this level here, it says that it's extremely harmful. Well, it says harmful. I can't reach the ceiling, but I'm sure that if I go further up, it gets stronger. It's towards a wall. There's no plug nearby. There's nothing. It's just an empty wall. How this is happening, it affects me deeply. The feeling in the beginning is good. It's like the skin heats up and there's a bubbly feeling, and I feel even a little bit more creative. But after a while of exposure, I start feeling like it's killing cells in my brain because I have off thoughts. I have stiffness, muscles contracting, throat closing, my eyes blurring, losing vision. And again, this is on a wall. It's going higher and higher. And this is all it is. It's just a wall. So how this is happening, I don't know. But I am definitely sure it's not some spirit. It's nothing. This is some kind of radiation weapon being used. That is what I believe. Crazy to live this way.